Hi guys, we're going really back to basics this time. I suppose really I should have done this sort of video right at the very beginning, but to be quite honest with you, I had no idea anyone was actually going to watch any of my videos. They were just sort of a bit of fun really to start with, but I realise now there is an awful lot of you actually watching them, and a substantial amount of people, old and young, all want to really learn this sort of job. So we're going back to the very basics, your hammer. Now it might seem like a stupid thing to say, you know, hammer's a hammer's a hammer, but actually it's not. Um, this one is about £2 and I use it for 90% of my work, perhaps 95%. I've been watching a few videos and there's a few common mistakes. Strangling it is one of them. You've got no control, no power, and you could end up damaging your wrist. So that's a no-no. The other one is swinging it by the tail. It's flapping about in the breeze. You've got no power, no control whatsoever, and also that could seriously hurt your wrist. So you need to find a balance. It needs to be about 2/3 of the way up the handle, perhaps. You'll know when it feels comfortable. You need to practice. Try it out. It'll feel better when you've got it in the right place. You've got more control. You can use it, move it about to get exactly what you want. So that's that. Now the other thing about the hammer is your thickness of your shaft. Now, again, it might sound stupid, but you want to be able to really get a good grip on it. I don't know if you can see here, I've actually sanded down this shaft from around about there to sort of there-ish. It had a much bigger bulge in it. I've kept the profile, sort of an oval, but I've really narrowed it down from about, let's say, about there to there, which is where my hand goes. It was just too thick before, and you see now my hand almost touches, my finger almost touches where my thumb comes in, and that's a real good, nice grip. Nothing worse than having a big fat thing that you can't hold on to. So that's sort of your handle basics. Now you can use a rasp to take it off, or you can use a belt sander, disc sander, any sort of sander really. And I tend to leave mine a little bit rough because it gives a nice grip. So when your hands get hot and sweaty, they can slip on a nice shiny shaft, so I just leave it like that. As I say, that's about it for that, for hammers. I use this one 99% of the time, but if I want to really give something some, I use this one, £4. It was a £4 club hammer with a much shorter handle in it. But again, to get your balance, I put a longer handle in it, and again thinned it out a bit. You can't really see on this one, it's gone a bit shiny, but I have thinned it down a bit because these handles do tend to have a bit of a lump there, which is for bigger hands. You know, we're all different. You can see again, first finger, second finger almost touching the thumb, and that's about right for me. I feel comfortable with that. But we're all different, so you know, you have to adjust tools and adapt tools. So right, that's your basics of your hammer, and getting that right, getting your grip right, not strangling it, not holding it on its tail, just getting that balance nice, and the thickness of the shaft right will help tremendously. So that's the first of the problems. The second, the height of your anvil. Now lots of people say how to get the anvil height right. One is to clench your fist, hold it down by your side when you stood upright, and your fist should just about hit the face. Well, I don't like that, as you can see. But you have to adapt. I say you set your anvil up for what you're going to be doing most of. I do mostly standing upright work, light forging, and I stand there for a couple of hours at a time, so I like it fairly upright. I see all these people bending down really low over a really low anvil, and they must get terrible backache. Having said that, if you're doing a lot of sledgehammer work, you will need your anvil slightly lower. If you look at one of my earlier videos, you can see I have to stand on a block to get the height. But as I don't do much sledgehammer work, I set my anvil up for what I'm doing most of. So it's a compromise. Everything needs to be sort of right. And along with that, yet another variable is when your hammer hand comes down at the end of its natural stroke, you want it to land flat. That's where you get your most power. If it lands toe first, which will happen if your anvil's too low, you won't get the power, you won't move much metal, and you'll dent it, and you'll have a hell of a job getting the dents out. Conversely, if it's too high, you'll hit it heel first. Again, you won't move much metal, you'll get dents in it, and you won't get much power. So the whole thing is a compromise. All of these guides, or all of these ideas, are just a guide. You need to play about, if necessary, video yourself working, see what you're doing, how your hammer's landing. Obviously you can move up and down yourself to adjust height, but you want to have it where you're going to use it the most. So with all those variables, I hope I haven't confused you. You need to play about and see what suits you. And I hope that helps somebody out. See you next time.